Welcome to the Wisdom of 21 Winning Women and Their Lessons. My name is Reverend Joy Dore, and I'll be your host today. The purpose of this summit is to empower, to inspire, educate women by showcasing the diverse experiences and wisdom of 21 accomplished women who have achieved success in their respective fields. The summit aims to create a platform for collaboration, learning, and networking, fostering a supportive community for women striving for excellence. Lastly, help women embrace their winning moments, regardless of how small or big, towards a successful and fulfilling life. And this time we are looking to empower, excel, embrace, and elevate. And I have in the studio this morning the one and only Pearl, and I'm just going to tell you a little about her as I introduce her to tell us about herself. Pearl is a mental fitness life coach, author, and captivating speaker. She champions women's journeys to self-discovery and unapologetic self-care, leading you on a transformative path where mind, body, and spirit unite, crafting your narrative as your own SHERO. I love that. Strong, happy, empowered, radiant, original is her mission. So, dearest Pearl in the house, I am just going to let you introduce yourself, and I welcome all of you, our audience who are watching today. And, I want you to just let them know how you end or how you learn or that you're doing now and everything about you. Thank you for coming into our studio today.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Reverend Joy. I love being part of this. I think I love stuff like this because, we need it. We need voices like yours. And I'm graced to share mine about how we as women can live that SHERO lifestyle. And I am Pearl Chiarenza. I am the owner of Women's Successful Living. As you shared, I'm a mental fitness life coach. I am also a mom of two amazing young men. My youngest is Nate. He is 24 now. And my oldest is Matthew. He is forever 25, who unfortunately we lost in a tragic car accident 18 months ago at the age of 25 years old. And he was born of our hearts. And so, as an adoptive young man in our family, we truly miss him immensely. I'm also a wife to my husband of almost 40 years. This year, we were celebrating our 40 years together, 37 years married. So I am very blessed to have an amazing team here at home with me that are my cheerleaders, as I like to call them. But if you had met me back before 2015, if you asked me who I was, I would tell you that, oh, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a volunteer. Like I do all these things that are these titles that we as women, we wear, right? We're professional, career person. It's all about our job, all these titles that we wear. And we forget who we are, who that original self is. And when we come into this world, we don't have those titles. We're this beautiful bundle of joy that our parents are loving on, and all these great goals they've set for us. And somewhere along the line, we start falling into things of people pleasing, risk takers, and we start losing who we were meant to come into this world to be. And so that's part of my journey. You see, 2015, I took a 6-week identity and destiny course. And during that course, at the end, we had to give our I am statement. So I was happy going to this course, doing my homework. And when I gave my I am statement, a friend of mine I met in a course is like, nope, Pearl, I still hear you're a wife, a mom, and I hear everything about your son, Matthew, but not much about Nate. And it was an eye opener. You see, Nate is a lot like me, very independent, can do things on his own. He built computers by himself. So I sort of took advantage of that. And Matthew, being that he was adopted, a mixed race child in an all white family, he had these goals that he wanted to accomplish in college, just like Nate did. But I felt like he needed more guidance. So I was on this path to help him do his resume for football, make sure that he was getting his grades done, all those things that we as mom do. And I realized she was right. I didn't know who I was, where I got lost along the way. I can't quite tell you, but as I've done the work, it goes back to my childhood. You see, in my childhood, I was in a family where my dad served in the Vietnam War, so he wasn't around much. And so my mom had myself at a very young age. She was barely 19 years old when she had me. And so my dad's gone off to war. She's home with this baby who she probably didn't expect to do so quickly in her life. And so it was a little of probably a little regret for doing things quickly herself. And so she probably harbored a little, you know, disappointment that she moved so fast in her life with having a child. And as I got older and my brother and my sister came along, it became a thing where I sort of was that people pleaser was starting to be inbred into me because mom needed my help to watch my sisters and brothers because my dad would be at war and she was having to work. So at a young age, I was always doing for others. And I had a childhood. Yes, I had friends and things like that. However, because I was the oldest, it was my responsibility to help out for those things, right? So we have to be careful. One of the ways I coach too is what we're saying to our children, because we don't want our children to lead this life of people pleasing, or even like if you remember when you were a child, maybe you thought, your parents told you, no, no, this is an adult conversation. Go over there. You don't want to be part of this conversation. So in a way, we're telling our kids to silence their voice, not intentionally, but that was something that we were embedding in them. Our children up until that 7 years of age, what we bring across to them, what we teach them, what we say can affect them the rest of their life. So here I go. I grow up and 2015 will come back and all of those generational things that trauma and that I got embedded on were there. So I decided, you know what? My friend's right. I sat in this course for 6 weeks and I still don't know who the heck I am. What the heck am I going to do? Right. So I decided I needed to make a change. So I sent my son off. He went to college that summer. We brought him to college. I literally gave him an imaginary gift in my hand. And I said, Matt, we are so excited for you. God and dad and I and have wrapped up this beautiful gift for you. It's all yours to unwrap. However you choose to unwrap is your choice. And then I left and I decided I needed to reconnect with my son Nate. So I went on the journey of reestablish that relationship, apologizing for not being there, for letting his brother take a lot of that shining light that I probably should have tried to find a way to balance better. And so reestablish that and then how to figure out how to stop people pleasing. Because let me tell you, Reverend Joy, if you had asked me to come put your socks away, I probably would have helped you put your socks away in your drawer. I was so afraid of saying no because I thought, and we all do this. I'm sure the listeners are resonating with this. Like, oh my gosh, she's going to think I don't like her. She thinks I'm selfish. I don't care. Right. But think about it this way. When we say yes to something that we really know in our heart we don't want to, are you showing up 100% the way you want to? No. Like, I love my dogs. I love hanging out with my dogs. I remember one time I volunteered for a dog event and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like what I'm doing. And I realized at that time, I'm showing up for things that I don't want to do. So I had to make a choice. But was I going to start? And this is just something I do. You can do the same thing, but find something that helps you to say no. So I took a rock, and this rock, it says gratitude on it, has a heart on the other side, and it's a heavy rock. And I took this rock, and I either had it in my pocket or I put it in my bra strap if I didn't have pockets. And I made a commitment to saying no 3 times a day. By the end of the day, when I went to bed, I had to have said no to something 3 times. So if you had asked me to put your socks away, I would say, oh my gosh, it sounds like a fun thing to do. It's just not something I could do for you today. Right. And so that's just no. No is a sentence. We forget that no is a sentence. Right. So as I was going through this journey, I had an aha moment. I was closing doors to other people that could have been with me and even done it better than what I was doing for you. So I might have said to you, you know what, Reverend Joy, I would love to help you put those socks away. And it's just not something that resonates with me. But I know Mary Jane, who's a great organizer, and she would be a great fit to help you with that. So the aha was I realized how many doors I had kept closed for other people. And for
Mm.
me, that weighed heavier than the guilt of saying no to you, right? Because I was like, wow, all those years, I could think of so many people in my head that I probably could have brought forward instead of myself. So saying no, as hard as it is, you can say it just as excitedly as you say yes. And if you're watching me, you see me smile saying no. I say no all the time now. Now, here's the thing. If it's something you really want to do, but the timing's just not right for you, right? So, like for instance, talking today with Reverend Joy, if she had reached out to me and maybe my timing wasn't right, I would have said, "Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea," which I love this event, and I would love to be part of it. And right now, my schedule doesn't fit for me to show up the way I would love to for you. So, how about if you're going to do this next year? How about you call me like near the September of the end of this year, and let's put it on my calendar so that I can make sure I'm there for you. Because you see, I don't wait till January to do my vision purse. I do vision purses, not vision boards. I wait and get started in like September, October timeframe because I want to prepare when January comes. Because how many of you listening, January rolls around, you make these goals or your New Year's resolutions, and 2 weeks in, you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't even started on it, right? I want to get started in October, plan it out so that come January, I'm already doing some of the steps because let's face it, the holidays are slow. So you could do some of the steps you want to do to prepare for January, right? So that's what I do. So as I went on this journey of saying no to others and yes to yourself, I realized that I was able to start doing more of the things that I love to do. I was 100% more into the things I love to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I wasn't alone because I'm sure if people are listening are going, oh, yeah, I said yes to many things I didn't want to, right? Or maybe you're somebody who's gotten an award, right? You get this award. Like I'm looking across my room right now and I was in a business competition where it was like a beauty pageant for businesses, right? And I got a crown. I was runner up. I got a crown. It was great. And so it's like, I want to enjoy this, right? But maybe you're that person that says, okay, I got the crown. Let me go to the next thing, right? I love coaching women on overcoming people pleasing, enjoying the triumphs you have, like really resonate with that triumph. What did you love about the work you did for that triumph? What do you want to do carrying forward for that triumph so that you can build on what you succeeded in doing? And so I decided that how I was working on this, I realized I took lots of notes. I'm a big person about journaling and brain dumping. And as I was holding this rock all that time, every night I would write down about how that made me feel. And here's where the SHERO method came from. I realized that I became stronger and I no longer needed to carry this rock with me in saying no to others. I became stronger in knowing what it was my goals were going to be. And even with my family, like if you're listening and you are a mom who is out of the house, I'm going to tell you, you are a CEO mom. No longer wear the title of stay-at-home mom because being at home is running a business. And so when
Mm.
I started on this journey, my sister-in-law is her name is Melissa. I visited them one year. And my nephew was about 3 years old. And she's like upstairs while Sean, am I going, Sean's gonna put his clothes away. He's 3 years old, right? And she's like, it's not gonna be perfect, but this is a household business and he needs to learn his part. And I walked away from that visit. I was like, you are a CEO mom, and I want to share that message. And so if you're listening and you're a mom who's running your household, you're a CEO mom. And here's the thing, you don't have to do it yourself. You can teach your kids how to put their dishes in a dishwasher, how to do their laundry, how to fold their clothes. They can be part of the business of the house so that you don't get stressed out over having to make a grilled cheese sandwich while you're trying to do laundry as well, right? So if you're a professional mom, it's the same thing. You come home, you don't have to run the household. It's communicating our realistic expectations within our family and even with our business and our job, right? Learning to delegate if you're a professional career person, learning to delegate so you're not staying late and doing all that work. Learning to let go is another area that I love to coach my professional women in because sometimes we think, especially as women, oh, I'll just do it. Let me just have it. I'll just do it. You are empowering somebody else when you relieve yourself of that thing you want to do and teach somebody else how to do it. And then guess what? It opens up areas where you can go home and not be stressed out at the end of the day. You might be able to go out with a friend, or maybe you're looking at dates and you're able to go out on a date with somebody. So that S became the standing for stronger. I became stronger in the word no. I became stronger in the belief that my saying no was not selfish and it was a sentence and I could say it happily. And here's the H. I just said it for you. As I became stronger, I became happier. I
Mm-hmm.
became happier in the things I was doing. I was showing up to my kids' events 100% all in. I wasn't worried about, oh my gosh, I got to go home and get this done, get that done. I didn't finish that project at work. I was happier in being in the moment that I was in and not worrying about all the other things I have to get done. And as I became happier, I became empowered to finally go after a goal that I had. One of my biggest goals was to start speaking on stage. And if you had met me almost 30 years ago, you would have thought, Pearl will never speak on stage. I was the most shy little thing that walked around. But I have a voice, and that voice of my lesson I'm learning, I want to pay it forward. And even more so now, since the loss of my son, I want to pay it forward even stronger to say to women and moms, dads, anybody that's grieving, yes, it's okay to grieve. It's okay. My friends would have thought, yeah, Pearl can stay in her room and cry all day and not come out. But that's not how we want to live. There is still life to live. And sending and sharing my message of how I've done it, it's been hard. There's days I just feel like I'm just kind of floating through the day with my grief. But now, as I come through this next journey of my grief, even more so, sharing my message is so important. So as I became empowered to start speaking on a stage, I also became empowered to shift my business. You see, I
Mm.
used to just do a weight loss program and that was it. And I had people that would come to me and like, Pearl, will you talk to my friend? She doesn't need to lose weight, but you're such a great listener. You have such great advice. You really care about the person you're talking to. So that's where my life coaching came from. That's where I decided to work with the mental fitness. That's where I started saying, we have to talk about what's in our head and what's stopping us from doing the things we want to do. Just like what's in our head telling us, oh, you should feel bad saying no to somebody. I love coaching women on how to sage those thoughts of you're not worthy. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Why do you think you can do that? You can do anything you want to do. And you may not do it perfectly, but that's okay because guess what? Nothing is perfectly done in this world. And there's such a lesson to learn from the setbacks to the triumphs that help you bounce forward to the successful things you want to do next. So as I became empowered to do that and really shift my business into more of a mental fitness life coaching, and I still do all areas. I still have clients I see for their weight loss, but I really want to talk to you about what's in between your ears and what we tell ourselves. I started feeling like this. I'd walk in rooms. I felt like I just could command my soul. Like I would walk in a room and be like, "Bro, what's up with you? Like, did you cut your hair? Like, did you get new makeup? What like did you lose weight?" No, I was being that radiant self that I kind of just turned a light off on, right?
Mm.
And so people were going, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing now?" Like even yesterday, as I'm coming through this next phase of my grief journey, I went out yesterday to a network event and so many people said, "What's new with you, Pearl? Like, what's going on?" And it's because they saw me do this grief journey and they see me now starting to turn my light a little bit brighter again. Right. And so, as you become that radiant self, here's what happens. I believe that when we come into this world, no matter who you believe in, whether it's a higher being, whether it's God, whatever that is, spirit for you, I believe when we're brought here, we have a destination set out for us. It's been planned out for us. It's been decided when you're going to be born and when your dash is going to end, that you're going to go back to wherever you believe you've come from, right? I believe that when my dash ends, I know where I'm going, and that's to heaven. And I know that God has said, you have things to do on this earth. And so that O is the original self. Because once you start working on all of these areas, you start walking in who you're originally meant to be. You become a stronger individual. Because let's face it, you're with yourself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Learn to love yourself, learn to put yourself first because you'll become stronger in that. You actually will be happier, as we said, and the empowerment is so amazing. But when we come in and start doing those original things, here's the really cool thing. Reverend Joy, if you'd not taken your talent and done what you're doing today, I would not be sitting here talking to these amazing audience members that are listening to us, right? So you took that and you did something with it. So you took care of it for yourself. But the cool thing is you're now paying it forward. You're paying forward a talent of bringing amazing people together to share a beautiful message that can empower others, right? So if you're listening and there's something that you want to do and you're thinking, oh, somebody's not going to want it, stop it. Do it now because you are going to impact somebody's life as you start paying for that message. And I love when I coach my women. I have a client right now. She has an autoimmune disease and she is so amazing. Like she has finally found her voice. She's finally found how to manage her RA. And the cool thing is she's become an RA coach. So she's empowering other people that are also walking through life with RA or an autoimmune disease to say, you could go do 5Ks if you want to do 5Ks. Nobody says you have to sit in the couch because you have an autoimmune disease, right? She's doing that. I have another client who she wanted to have a brand new dining table, right? She wanted this dining table. She was okay to keep her chairs. She's like, I'll reupholster my chairs. I want a new table. She also wanted a new dresser. Her furniture was older, so she wanted a new dresser. And at the same time, her husband was trying to find a new car for them. And she wasn't liking the car that he was sort of picking out. So we sat down and I was like, okay, let's talk about what are some of his concerns? Because oftentimes we think about ourselves, right? But what about the other person it's impacting? What are their thoughts? What are their feelings, right? So as we sat down and we figured out, she was able to share that it was a budget thing for him, right? Money was important to make sure it stays within a budget. So we created this way she could talk to him and how to talk to him for his love language. And I'm going to tell you, not only did she get the table, she got the chairs too, and she got the dresser she wanted. And the cool thing is, he listened to her about the car because she's short like I am. And the car he was getting, she's like, I don't feel like I would be safe. And they compromised on the car. So, my point for sharing those two stories is if both of those women had not worked on their original self, had not walked through the SHERO method that I coach on, they may still be sitting home, not doing 5Ks or not enjoying a beautiful table that they share with their family. So if you're listening and you're wondering about this, the SHERO method applies to you as well. You have a voice. You are an amazing person. And when we don't do something with that voice, we're dimming our lights. And I just want to ask you and leave you with this question. If tomorrow you were not promised and all your family could do at your eulogy is to say what they saw you do for yourself, not your titles of mom, wife, volunteer, employee, professional women. If all they could do is what they said they saw you do for yourself, what would they say? I can tell you, my family will tell you, I sit in my front porch swing. I have some time out my journal. I go for walks. I take staycations. I live in Florida, so I'm near the beach. I go to the beach about once a quarter. I've also been known, Dr. Joy, to hop on an airplane and go visit a friend that I'm worried about and just be like, I'm here. How you doing? So my family and friends will tell you that at my eulogy, those are the things they'll be saying. And if you're listening and you are saying, I don't know what they would say, I think they would just say that I wore all my titles. I think they would say that I did so much for somebody else that I got mad over making a grilled cheese sandwich, right? So if you are listening and that is you, I want to encourage you to go to SheroLeague.com, and that's SheroLeague.com. And I want you to join us on this journey of becoming the SHERO you are, becoming stronger, becoming happier, becoming empowered, becoming radiant, and that original self you are. Because our SHERO League is a community of women who are on this journey to do exactly that. And I would love to invite you to join us for 1 month for free and see how we can teach you and share with you how you have that SHERO within.
Hey, oh my God. Time to go. Anyway, audience. In fact, let me be specific. All the ladies out there, make some noise. Make some noise. Oh my God. When I see that, SHERO, most of your page and, haven't followed your work a little, I'm like, oh my God, this lady is ready. But I didn't know you're this fire. Believe me, you have this love all over you. Like you blowing my mind for the morning. Like, what Well, good, you know, this is a powerhouse right here.
Thank
So, ladies,
you.
hey, ladies, we just allowed our master. This is more than an expert right now. This is a master in what she does. This is like, I got this, I got you. So you're watching us today, like, oh my God. Just take a back step and like imagine her as she said in 2015. Imagine and imagine the new 2024 that we just brought to you, like this version of this master coach, like master life coach. You helped me. You helped me. In fact, you just made today and everyone that's gonna watch this who are where I used to be. Because you know, when we think about this project that we're doing, I see it as a project that God placed in my hand with the journey that He put me through. And that journey is mostly you watching me right now, like you're where I used to be. And we decided, no, we ain't gonna settle there. So we're gonna move. And now God positioning all these amazing 21 accomplished winning women. Just think about that.
Yeah.
To instead of you being in what I used to be for 6 years, they're trying to say if you just started it or you're in it for 1 year or even 6, 10, how many years, how many months, this is no longer the problem. The issue now is you can rise now. You can make that decision of managing your no's and your yes. Did you hear that? Oh my God. You know, I love it. I love it. And I'm only going to ask you something to, I believe one of my audience or all of you are wondering, what did she mean by vision post, not vision board? I can't get over, I can't like forget it. So I want to ask that question for you guys because I know I want to know and I know you guys want to know. So, hey, SHERO lady, I'm going to call you because you are. Can you explain a little to our audience what you meant when you say, I don't do vision board, I do vision post? Because so many of us has been trained in the line of vision board. So let's hear
Yeah.
you.
So, okay. So, Reverend Joy, let me ask you, where's your vision board right now?
Right here.
Okay. So when you
But
go, when you
I
go out
don't
of the
go to
house,
it all the time.
okay. So when you go out of the house, where's your
Uh-huh.
vision board?
Exactly. It's right here. I leave it
Right.
right there. Good.
So if you can have a purse, and it may not be an everyday purse you do, but maybe it's that purse that you take grocery shopping, it's your briefcase, something like that. We take a purse and we instead of putting everything on the poster board, we paste it onto this purse and then you carry it with you. Because I believe that if you have it on your shoulder, that energy you put into that is going to come through your body and it's going to be in your heart and relate up to your mind, right? And the cool thing is, as you accomplish each thing on that purse, you could take it off. So it's
Mm.
the actual physical being of, I did this, let me take it off, right? And so I believe that you can take that and carry that with you wherever you go. It's so much fun. And I mean, I have a board from years ago that I keep up here still because I'm so proud of it. But I love doing the purse. I love
Mm.
creating it in the I just it's just that it's so
Wow. So vision pause. So everywhere you go, you have it. You're right, because every time I want to leave the house, even when I'm not going for nothing, there's a pause I always grab and I'm off. And it's like sometimes I even forget it, like because I'm not going nowhere. And before you know it, hey, princess, which is one of my children, princess, can you grab my purse? And they know exactly what to bring to me.
yeah.
Oh my God. Hey, ladies, did you hear that? We are stepping up. This is like step up. You don't have to put it on the board alone. You can actually, yes, we are not, she's saying do your vision board, but this time is no longer, this is action time. That's what I hear. Like
Mhm.
you need to take action because some of us, our board is not even where we are every day. It's where we have to go meet it. But what happens where you see every day? Because most of us that use a particular pause, put it where we see it every day. Actually, that pause is right here watching me, the one I'm talking about. You put it where you see it. They don't want to miss it when you want to run out. Oh my
And
God.
the cool thing too, Reverend Joy, is that when you have it with you, people are like, "What's that? Like, what's up with that?" And you can, and then the thing is it might lead you to somebody that you need help with for what an item on your purse, right? So maybe it's a house, right? Maybe you want to buy a house. You could talk about, I'm looking for, this is the kind of house I'm looking for, but you don't know a realtor, right? Maybe so I got a great realtor. Let me refer you to a realtor, right? It can lead to conversations. It can lead you to things you need to accomplish what's on that vision of yours.
You see how I just see so much. My son was giving me a joke yesterday. He meant it, but it was a joke. He said, Mom, you are creating. When I listen to your masters and your expert, I see ladies who are wise and rich. So you are creating wise and rich ladies. I like, wow, that sounds big to me because I haven't even thinking that way. Yes, I know we're trying to help somebody understand their life so they can scale whatever
Right.
they're doing now. Because if you do not understand yourself, as you said, how will you step up and do big things?
Right.
How? Because
Yes.
everything you said here today is that, okay, I have to understand what was my barrier, what was my limiting, what created the limiting belief, what made me focus on one child, what was, the moment you identified those things, you were ready to take off. Like, no, I'm going to work in this area. And thank God for friends like the one you had that was straight. Like, hey, this is not happening. Look at what you did. I want you to face this. And you being that you, like, okay, I hear you. You're right. Let me go work on it. So ladies, I'm telling you, this is bringing us almost to the end. I know our master have told us where to find out, but still for you who's asking, how can I do what you do? How do I connect with you? Are you on social media? What area? How do we follow you? Just let us know everywhere that you are. If you have any podcasts you do, anyone that you visit, we just want to hear all about you right now and how somebody can do exactly what you do, how you're coaching people to do what you do. That is going to be our question. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's a great question. So yes, so SHEROleague.com is where you can go, SHEROleague.com. Or I'm all over social media as Pearl Chiarenza, which is Chiarenza. I'm on TikTok, I'm on LinkedIn, everything underneath that name. So you can find me there as well. And you can always also, if you want to, just through the SHEROleague.com, it's going to lead you directly to me. So it will connect you with me. So absolutely go there. And I would love to chat with you and see, but get me on social media. I'm on TikTok all the time and Facebook and all that stuff. So all those areas you can get me to.
Are you on LinkedIn?
Yep, I'm on LinkedIn too.
Sure, because so many business ladies, professional ladies,
Yeah.
they're LinkedIn, yeah. So you see, we're crushing it everywhere. You have to be out there. As we declared in 2024, thank God January is ending today. It's been like a whole year. January looked like a year to me. Like I just spent a whole year in 1 year, right? And we are declaring that we are a voice. I am a voice, and you watching us, you are a voice. You just need to find it. Another thing I want to leave for you ladies that our expert told us today is CEO mom. I love that. It doesn't matter. That is what we want you to celebrate. She want you to take time, just like this summit we're doing, which is what her passion is. And that's how we selected our masters this season, like people who want to help you celebrate your win, even as a mom home right now. Give those work. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, coach. I hear you. As you're talking, I'm thinking about my 11 years old who is going to be having Cooking with Princess on Friday online. And that lady has been cooking like since 5 years, actually running the blog. But at the same time, I decided early enough, I was going to do what you just said, be a CEO mom. And just make them know that we're coming up. You have to try something and grow in it. And that's how my baby fall in love with baking. And she bakes like once every week. And, and on this Friday, she's going to bake on Facebook. We're still waiting to see what she... So, but what am I saying? Yes. What am I saying, Mom? You can reduce the burdens. Come on, let's leave. This program want to help you live, like not just live, but be present, be there, live with your energy, with your passion, with your voice. Come on, and just leave it out and be happy. So with that, we are actually at the end of our studio time today with our master. And we just want to say to everyone who have watched, don't forget that we have other speakers who are going to be here just blessing you, helping you, and making sure they take you by hand to where you want to go. All you need to do is just say, yes, Lord. That's all. And just follow and see your life transform like every other accomplished winning women that we've had here and we're still going to have. So, and that will be it for me. And remember, March 6, 7, 8, look out for that email that is going to link you to Our Lady so that you can come in an hour only without that burning question like, hey, coach, what can I do in this area? Because if you hear her, let me tell you something. You want to be a great mom? I believe you get a life coach right there to be a great mom. And some of us are not doing well in that area, even as much as we think we are women. And our coach is going to be here to answer those burning questions in one of those days. So tune into our summit and see you over there, when the day comes. So with that said, we're going to say right now, me and our master, bye-bye.